Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to our channel tonight to give a presentation about the strongest African group. I'm talking about the group identified as African Americans. By the way, Africans are not a homogeneous group, just like Europeans are not a homogeneous group. Asians, Middle Easterners, Australians, and so on and so forth are not homogeneous, but very diverse groups. However, there are certain things that make Africans to identify with one another. For example, they are being in one location that the people that give things names called Africa. They are grouping themselves together in an organization called the African Union. And erroneously, they're being called the blacks, even though north of the Sahara, a lot of people are lighter skinned. South of the Sahara, a lot of people are also lighter skinned. In any case, let us use the designation that is used by most people in the world today anyway. So this presentation is about the strongest group among these groups called Africans, the African American group. They are the most successful group of Africans in the world. And I trace their success to their religion. You have to have had advanced training in religious studies to get what I'm trying to say. When I say their religion, I don't mean that all African Americans adhere to one religion or one church or one mosque or one temple. I mean how they view religion is very critically important, contributed so much to why they became the most successful African group, even though they do not have a sovereign state. Their success is traceable to their religion and culture. And I will repeat, not directly in connection to them now. I will say not directly in connection to them now, but as it pertains to everybody in the world. If a people have a good religion and a good culture, no matter the adversities they face, they will overcome the challenges. I've spent years looking at the most successful African group, African Americans. I began to look at them in 2016 when I arrived the contemporarily greatest country in the world, the United States. I began to look at this community. And I thank my good friend, Professor Walter Isaac, Pastor Dumis in Washington, Dennis E. Allen, and other African Americans who reached out to me when I got down at Miami. Miami is the most important, I would say, the commercial nerve center of Florida. That's where I got down in 2015. When these gentlemen learned that I had arrived in the United States, they reached out to me, these gentlemen and ladies, because there were so many, but I named only 3. They reached out to me, and I began to take a look at their communities. Wow. And what did I see? Christianity in the American community is different from Christianity in Nigeria. Just as Christianity in Yoruba land, the Yorubas are one of the most important ethnic groups in Nigeria. The Hebrews, that is the Igbo people, and the Hausa, who are sometimes called Hausa Fulani, are the three largest ethnic groups in Nigeria. Christianity in Yoruba land is very different from Christianity in Igbo land. Likewise, Christianity in Benin is also very different from Christianity in Igbo land. Well, one little thing I would mention would help the curious to think and realize why Christianity in the three locations are completely different. The Yorubas have kings who are also gods. Something applied to the Bini. This makes the traditional religions of these people to be superior in their domains to the colonial Christianity. In Yoruba land, the Yoruba religion, which they have begun to call Oduifa, is more or less the state religion. It seems subliminal. People would think that Christianity and Islam are respected more than the religion, but not so. As long as the Oba, that is the king, God kings of the Yorubas, are around, the Yoruba religion is dominant because the Yoruba religion is adhered to by every Yoruba, no matter the religion on the surface. While in the Igbo case, egalitarian. I'm using egalitarian to describe a situation where there are almost no hierarchies. Every man and every woman is a law and a lord unto themselves. So Christianity came in and became the master of the people. I believe this little example suffices. At another occasion, we will talk more about this. But just take it that Christianity among the Yorubas is different from Christianity among the Igbos. Likewise, Islam in the African American community is completely different from Islam in the Hausa Fulani community in Nigeria. At this point and time, African Americans have challenges. Who doesn't? But they will overcome them because they are listening, thinking. They have a religion and a culture which don't say, don't think. Some people may think that African Americans are the most successful African group because they are natives in a sense. I don't mean that they are like the Native Americans, but they are one of the earliest people to come to the United States. So they are natives of the most important country in the world, the richest country in the world. It goes beyond that. They have been able to build viable communities in the United States. And this is the primary reason why they have excelled, why they have propelled themselves to success. Without a community, extremely talented individuals don't go far. I'm thinking too, I must admit that I have also benefited from their culture. My MA thesis was about, this is the expanded version of my MA thesis, an African American history from Israel through Africa to America. I surveyed 2 Hebrew Israelites religious organizations, and they gave me entry into the African American world. From them I began to learn the culture. I can't say that I'm a master in the culture today. I can't be. I can't know the African American culture the way the African Americans know it. But I know a few things about it, and I have benefited from studying the culture. When I think of the Hebrew Igbo people, my own people, who by the way produced many of the African Americans, very many African Americans descended from the Igbo people. When I think about the Igbo people and become almost discouraged because at present the Igbo society is in free fall. But you need to be a prophet, you need to be a wise person to notice that the society is in free fall. Due to what? Not one, but two genocides in 100 years. Genocides that were not addressed, which left the people deeply traumatized and nihilistic. When I look at their situation, when I look at this Igbo situation, I almost despair. But then I turn to Prophet William Saunders Crowdy, the great African American prophet who founded the Church of God and Saints of Christ that is today Temple Bethel. And I ask myself, what would Crowdy have done if Crowdy was faced with the situation that I see facing the Igbos today? I draw strength from what Crowdy did. Crowdy ran away from slavery, joined the Union Army, fought alongside those who moved America in the right direction by abolishing slavery. On getting out of the army, Crowdy took a look at his people, the African Americans, and said, if they remain in this religion that was imposed on them in times of slavery, the people would not survive. Crowdy took the people to the religion of Israel, which he preached was the religion of African Americans. And we have, fortunately, research has proved that a great number of African Americans, a good number of African Americans are lineal descendants of the Israelites through the Igbo people. They were Igbo, so they were Israelites. And on this note, I say, have a peaceful night. Thank you. Bye-bye.